Welcome to the StockMiner.com studios. I'm your StockMiner Brian Johnson. Slow day as we wander our way into the end of the week. And stocks finished basically flat again today. The Dow was a lagger. It did finish down for the day, while the NASDAQ was way ahead of everybody else. So the NASDAQ showing a lot of strength today, while the rest of the market's more or less flat. And very slow end to a very slow week. We did have overall not much movement. You can see down here they had a little bit of a move down, huge move back up, which was where the bulls came in and started buying it up at lower levels. And the bears were not able to hold. Basically, the one day they had one good day of movement and just no follow-up whatsoever. Very common from what we've seen over the past few weeks, actually. And no different, of course, this week. We had attempts at some newer highs up in here, which didn't hold very long. And then today, as you can see, it's even hard to make out the muddled mess of candles on the 60-minute as we just absolutely wandered sideways, which still remains as a more neutral to bullish move when it's all said and done. Yes, I know you bears have got to be frustrated at this point, but it is what it is. The charts are telling you and have been telling you to remain neutral to bullish this entire time. I've tried to tell you about it myself, but there's always going to be someone that's the contrarian, and you're just going to have to wait a little longer. That's all that means. So as you can see here, we wandered sideways. Maybe things change before the elections. Maybe we see even more of the same type of movement, which is just up to sideways, up to sideways. The move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up, pull back, move up. And there was that move right there. We're on the Dow. We managed to come back, retest the 20, and the bulls bought it right back up. But you'll see they didn't get anywhere. Keep in mind, as I said, it's a very slow move to the upside, the slow grind. And this is why I don't like holding overnight, because you just don't know when it's going to turn. You don't know when that day is going to come, and it's going to be the big red candle down or the sizable red candle down as it might be. And then you're going to be stuck thinking, yeah, well, there was my chance. But here you go. 11,200 was our overhead resistance. We did just sneak above it, but not able to hold for any length of time. However, still a high base formation overall. NASDAQ very strong. Look what we're doing. I mean, we're basically at a triple topping area here, but only if we turn around and basically move down from this exact point. 2104, 2105, 2106. I mean, we've pretty much thrown darts all around the 2105 area. And here we are, yet once again, looking for that push to the upside. This movement right here of this sideways move is nothing more than yet another high base formation. On the daily, very cluttered up here to show you this overhead resistance, but let me bring it in a little bit more for today. So here is now a 4-month chart. And you can see, look, pop up, move down, pop up, but this is all. You call it a pullback with a move up or a high base, doesn't really matter. It's all about the same. On a weekly, this is going to look like a high base formation, and that's precisely what it is. Still a bullish move by the NASDAQ. What a beast. This is why you can't short it. It's just a monster. So any move back up and above this area into early next week, guess what? Why don't we see a little bit higher move? Sure, 2150, 2200, you betcha. Absolutely possible on the chart. From the weekly here, there's that high base I was telling you about. We've had a move up, a high base, a move up, and now the start of a high base. Yes, that is somewhat of a topping candle, but we do not have obviously any confirmation on that as it is. So all we have to look at is what's in front of us, and that is 2 closes above overhead resistance. Support is holding well. We came down, we tested it, we held, and now we're right back up again. Still in line for another move higher coming into next week. SPX on a 60 is also holding this blue line here, as you can see. We've had dances above it and moves below it all week long. It's just a bunch of chop, but the chop is sideways, and this sideways action remains a neutral to bullish move for the time being. Here we are again, looking at it from a bigger picture on the daily, coming back to almost test that 20. Bulls drag it right back up. Another close yet again above overhead resistance at around that 1170 to 1173-ish area. And firmly above it at 1183. Now we do have 1185, 1190. That's been some strong overhead resistance as well, but once we break that, looking at 1200, 1210, and even 1220 before this potential move is completely over with. Notice, though, that the volume did start to fade a little bit on us towards the end of the week. So we'll watch to make sure. This does not mean we're going to fall down next week. Don't let anybody tell you that. This just tells you that we're seeing a little bit of non-confirmation here by the volume, but that does not mean we can't move higher. This drop off in volume is not only sometimes indicative of a potential trend change, it can also be indicative of just a consolidation move before a push higher. And that may be what we're seeing here. So don't jump to conclusions because the volume isn't where you think it should be. Who cares? It's one of two things. It's either not confirming the move up, or it's just settling in for another consolidation before another push higher. The charts will tell us next week. Here we are, 1195, got close to that this week, 1189. Watch for that to maybe get tagged next week. If we see some continued bullishness early in the week, which we have lately, the Mondays have been pretty good to the markets. VIX, same thing, still trapped in its falling wedge. And you can see it's confirming that as the markets move up, the VIX moves down. Still no fear coming into the markets whatsoever. So unless this changes, there's no reason to think we can't sneak a little bit higher in the markets before we see some sort of a pullback. Apple also wandering sideways, was down $2 today, but you can see overall just wandering sideways here, holding 305, holding 300, and more importantly holding 295, which have been my marks. For the week, you can see we had the earnings, which dropped us down to 300, but strong Apple pulling it right back up again. So we're going to watch and be careful. This is very common, too, to see a consolidation after a big earnings announcement, and this is what we've seen now the rest of the week on Apple. Expect it to start moving again coming into next week. From a weekly, you can see here, too, that we were down a little bit. Yes, you can look at that as a potential topping candle as well. But we've done this before, been there, and it's only until we get confirmation that we'll know for sure. So looking for pushes either back below the 305 mark next week, maybe below 300 ultimately for me. Below 300 for sure, then 295 and or above 320, and above 320 should get us right back into the bull seat when it comes to Apple. FAS, can we say consolidation? This is why we day trade it, but not today. terrible day to day trade. Let me low, high, 60-cent move. Yeah, 60 cents. Okay. Not bad, but not good. Just a lot of chop action too. No real direction one way or the other. This thing is coiling up. It's just as simple as that. Once we see the break one way or the other, that'll be our entry. But until we see that, there's no point in playing this one until it really works itself out. Here it is overall. Look at this, guys. This is why I say day trade this. If you invested in this thing back on September 13th, you haven't made any money. Nothing. If you went long this thing back in the 14th of June, you haven't made any money. The buy and hold on this is not paying anything right now. It's been kind of a spooky move, actually. All it's doing is giving us some decent intraday action, but the banks themselves are just in some straits here. They're really struggling. Same thing here, FAZ moving sideways today, giving us a couple of entries here and there, but nothing really that should, get you too bullish or even too bearish on this thing. Drops below here, take us to bears. Moves above here, take us to the bulls. Let's let the charts give us that direction. Overall for the week, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We started up here. The blue line held, dropped us down to here, and where do we end the week? Right where we kind of ended Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yep, that's right. So we can go anywhere. We're working hard on this lower level. But you can see what we're testing. Also in a falling wedge, similar to the VIX, and everything's holding fine. No reason to be in any kind of a panic mode if you are playing this particular stock. So let it work its way out. Let's just give it some time. Let's work on some individual stocks and play some intraday moves. Maybe a night here and there you can hold. Not a big deal on certain stocks to do that, but overall this thing is coiling up. What is it waiting for? Is it waiting for Bernanke to speak at QE2? Is it waiting for the elections to be over with? Maybe it's waiting for both. Who knows? Point is, the charts will tell us when it's ready to move. That's when we will take our action. So, hope you guys were able to pull a couple of dollars out of the market this week. There were opportunities to trade some stuff. But overall, just another slow, kind of wandering week in the markets yet again, based on all the charts we're seeing here. I am going to be out of town this weekend. I will obviously still do my videos. There'll still be a weekend video. My Monday video, Monday video, might be out a little bit later than usual. I will be flying home on Monday. I'm actually going to go with my beautiful wife to the Packer Viking game in the frozen tundra. Not quite yet. Of Lambeau Field. So I'm looking forward to it. It's ought to be a good time. I love making the trip. It'd be really nice to see him win once. I don't think I've seen him win yet, Lambeau. Maybe I'm bad luck. So anyway, I hope I don't curse him. It'd be nice to see him win, especially against the Queens. That'd be kind of cool. But we'll see. It's going to be a good game. Both teams, I think, are very, very equal right now. This is totally a throw a coin type of a game. We'll see how it works out. But anyway, you guys be expecting my video for sure this weekend, and then I'll be maybe a little late in getting my Monday video out because we're flying back that day, and then back to work again, normal time on Tuesday. All right, guys, have a great weekend, and talk to you later. Bye.